Now, dear students, we have the chapter number 3 and motion in a straight line, and today's topics are that mean speed and the velocity. So, we will start with the speed. So, the general question we have in front of us, what actually is speed? So easily you can speak about the speed, that distance covered by an object per unit time is called the speed. Okay. Obviously it's the simplest meaning we have, or either you can say that the rate change of position with respect to time in any direction, that is called the speed. Okay, so these are the two simplest define we can use, and you must try to make up your own define, so it will be the easier to pick up the things by you. So I am showing the two defines in front of you, the rate change of position of an object with time in any direction and distance covered by an object per unit time. Now next we have what are the basic properties, those we can include in the reference of the speed. Okay, so first general point which we want to include here, that is formula which we can use. So the general formula we have, the speed is equal to distance upon time. Distance upon time. So it's the general formula we have. Now the another one, that is units. So generally we have the two types of the units. Okay. First is the SI or MKS unit system we have. So SI or MKS unit, that is called the meter per second, and the CJ system which having the unit, that is called the centimeter per second. Okay students, so this one is a second property we have. Okay, now third point, that is called the dimension, and I have told already to you that you must find out, or you must be able to find out the dimension of the each physical quantity. So easily we can go with the dimension, that is called the m0 l1 t minus 1. So it's simply the representation of the dimension we have. Now speed is a scalar quantity. Speed is a scalar quantity. Okay student, quantity. Why we are saying scalar? Because it possesses only the magnitude, but there is a no concern of the direction we have. Okay, speed always positive, cannot be negative, can not be negative. It can't be negative, because always we are just using the concern of the scalar assumption, so that's why we can say that. Okay, now the next term which I have shown, that uniform speed. So what actually the uniform speed? So as per the formula, if an object covers the equal distance in equal interval of time. Okay, so what we can write, if an object covers equal distance in equal interval of time, then the speed will be uniform speed. And easily you can say that what is the uniform motion? So equal change in the position in equal interval of the time is called the concern of the uniform motion. So somehow we are just using the concept of the formula, because we have added here, that is distance. On you can also say that the equal change in the position in equal interval of the time in any direction, so that makes the concern of the uniform speed. Now we have the non-uniform speed. Now students, we have the non-uniform speed which having the another name, that is called the variable speed. So we can add here the one parameter is unequal, that is unequal distance with equal interval of time. So it is the concept of the non-uniform speed. Okay, or either you are just saying the equal distance with the unequal interval of the time, and always you are just performing the variable speed in your regular or in the daily life whenever you are just taking the vehicle on the road. So it is an example of the non-uniform speed or the variable speed. Now, student, we have the average speed. So, the basic concern of the average speed we have, if an object is showing the variable speed or the non-uniform motion, so what will be the average speed for the whole path or for the whole journey? So, easily we can use the symbolic notation that I have used the average word in the subscript of the S. Okay, so it's a general representation, and up to this level you have to be right. Okay, so these are the scientific notations we have. So we can easily write that the total distance which is covered by an object during the motion is to be divided by total time which is taken by an object during the motion. So this is the general meaning of the average speed we have. Now we will talk about the new concept that is called the instantaneous speed. Instantaneous speed. This is the new segment we have. Okay, on behalf of the concept of the derivative, so first we will go with the meaning. The speed of an object at the particular instant of time. This is the general meaning of the instantaneous speed. The speed of an object at a particular instant of time is called instantaneous speed. So dear student, we will discuss it thoroughly. Now students, one of the graph which I am showing to you to make the understanding about the instantaneous speed. This one is a new term we have. Okay, so I have just pasted the graph in front of you. An object is showing the that mean on variable speed, and on the y-axis we have the distance, and on the x-axis we have the time. So whenever we are just asking the speed of an object at the particular instant of time, so the time concern we are just assuming that will be approaches to 0. Okay, but not equal to 0. So this is the mathematical concept we have. So we are just putting the slope, that mean we are just finding the slope. So we are just drawing the perpendicular. Okay, on the x-axis and the y-axis. So we are just finding the approach up to where the time interval reaching to the 0. So this is the kind of the slope we have, that mean a, b and c, and slope of the graph that is called the tan theta. Here we have the timings, that mean t1 and the t2. The time interval delta t is equal to t2 minus t1, and along this we have the change in the position, that mean distance. We can write here. So here on the y-axis, just I am just approaching the perpendiculars, that from the reference point the distance that is x1, and at the another time t2, that is the distance which is covered by an object, that is x2. So what actually we are just finding, that slope of graph, and slope of graph generally indicates that tan theta, and tan theta indicates that perpendicular upon base. So here what is the perpendicular, that is called the BC, and what is the base, that is called the AC. So slope of the graph, that is called the tan theta, is equal to BC. BC can be stated in the term of that x2 minus x1 upon is to be divided by t2 minus t1, that is called the delta x upon delta t, between the interval of the time t2 to t1. But we are just finding the concept of the instantaneous speed up to where the time interval approaches to 0. Now as per the nature of the term, we are just assuming that the delta t tends to 0. So we are just applying the limit at the time interval approaches to 0 up to where what is the instantaneous speed we have. So I am just applying the s instantaneous, that is instantaneous speed, that is equal to limit delta t tends to 0 where delta x upon delta t. Now we can change we are changing this one term in the part of the derivative, that means dy by dt, it's a kind of the operation and on the distance. Now this is called the instantaneous speed, and dy by dt of x, dy by dt of x having its own meaning, that is derivative, and obviously it's a derivative, that is differentiation, that is one time we are just operating, so we can say that derivative, that is called the first derivative. Derivative of x, derivative of x, derivative of x with respect to time. So how can we find out the derivative? That lecture I'll post separately. So easily you can go with the concept of the derivative, or the instantaneous speed, that's mean derivative of the x with respect to time. Where the device which we are using to measure the instantaneous speed, it is called the speedometer. Speedometer. It's a device which measure the instantaneous speed. So dear students, we have discussed the speed and the types of the speed we have, in which we have the important portion that is called the instantaneous speed. So in the instantaneous speed, we will use the concept of the mathematics, that is derivative portion. So we will discuss it separately. Need not to be worried about it. Okay, how can we apply the derivative portion in the part of the physics? Okay, so here we have discussed the new term that is called the instantaneous speed. So speed of an object at the particular instant of time is called the instantaneous speed. Okay, now we will talk about the velocity. Now students, we have the concept of the velocity, that is rate change of position with time in a particular direction. So whenever we are just adding the concept of the direction is there, so we can say that the velocity probably a vector quantity. Okay. Now in the another word we can say that the displacement per unit time is called the velocity. So what are the basic properties by what are the basic properties on which we can say something? Okay, now we will talk one of the property, that is formula which you can use, that is displacement upon time. Second one is the unit, you have SI or the MK system having the unit, that is meter per second. And the CGS unit which you can use here, CGS unit, that is called the centimeter per second. It's another one option you have. Now the dimension, that is m0 l1 t minus 1, similar rate having the dimension as per the speed. Two physical quantity can have the same dimensions. Okay, now velocity is a vector quantity. Okay, velocity can be the positive, negative and the zero on behalf of the nature of the displacement, because we have discussed that is displacement can be the positive, negative and zero. Now we will discuss about the types of the speed. So first we are just saying that uniform velocity. So what could you say? Uniform velocity. So easily you have that mean statement inside your mind, when an object covers or gone through the equal change in position in equal interval of time in a particular direction, so it is called the uniform velocity. So we have the basic define, that is equal displacement in equal interval of the time. It is a concept of the that mean uniform velocity. Now we have the non-uniform or the variable velocity. If an object undergoes the unequal displacement in equal interval of the time, it is a concept of the non-uniform velocity we have. Now students, we have the concept of the average velocity, or the if an object performing the variable velocity, if an object is moving with the variable velocity, so we can easily use the concept of the total displacement upon total time, and it is a symbolic representation of the average velocity through which we can use the easy symbolic notations. Okay, so it's a general representation we have. Okay, now next we have, that is an important part, that is a new part for you, that is called the instantaneous velocity. So similar we have the velocity of an object at the particular instant of time. Velocity of an object at particular instant of time. time is called instantaneous velocity. Is called the instantaneous velocity. So it's a general abbreviation of the instantaneous velocity. So easily we can find out by the graphical notation that how we are just representing the instantaneous velocity. So here we are just taking the position or the displacement position, and the time nature of the position time will give the meaning of the velocity we have. So we are just saying the object is performing the non variable velocity, and somehow we are just asking to find out the what is the possible that mean velocity of an object particular instant of time. So we are just plotting the perpendiculars. So we have the timings that in t1 and t2, and we are just getting the positions. So this one is the x1 with the vector sign, that is called the x2 with the vector sign. So easily we know that the a b c is the simply the representation, and we are just saying this one is the theta. So the slope of graph will be tan theta is equal to bc upon that is ac. So easily we can write that is delta x bar. Okay, sorry, vector sign is there, so delta t. So why we are just using the vector sign? Because we know that we are just dealing with the concept of the vector quantity. So here just I am putting the vector sign on it. Now we have to be talk about the part of the in the part of the instantaneous velocity. So v instantaneous at which where the time interval approaches to 0. Here we are just choosing a one point on the graph at which the time interval approaches to 0, but it is not equally to 0. If it is 0, so there is a no meaning. So we are just assuming a supposition regarding to that instantaneous velocity. We are assuming that the time interval must be approaches to 0. So at the particular instant of the time is called the instantaneous velocity. So how we will solve it? We will go with the derivative part. Okay, so I am just representing that limit of the time, that is called the delta tends to 0, and we are just approaching that mean delta x upon delta t with the vector sign, that is, and in the part of the derivative we are just representing d by dt of that mean first derivative of the displacement. Okay, so what actually the meaning of the d by dt of x, that is called the first derivative. Okay, it is called the first derivative of displacement, first derivative of the displacement with respect to time. So this is the completion of the instantaneous velocity we have. Okay, today we have discussed the speed and the velocity and the two new segments we have, and these two new segments we will solve on behalf of the information of the derivative. For it I'll just put the another video lecture. Okay, thank you everyone, and subscribe the channel along and get the notification, so easily you can attempt the MCQ question test. Those will be coming soon in front of you. Okay.